Good morning,
Okay.
Mrs. Sonaiya. It's a great delight to have you on today. And one key question that comes to mind, and I ask myself, is why Christians are needed in politics, in Nigeria's politics today. Are we really needed? And what's your take on it, given your career already in politics?
All right. Thank you very much. Let me first say I sincerely appreciate this opportunity to engage with you and with fellow Christians, your group in particular. Thank you for inviting me. Are Christians needed in politics, or why are we needed? I believe that Christians are needed everywhere, in all spheres of life. We need Christian teachers, we need Christian doctors, we need Christian, whatever, bankers, lawyers, whatever. Why are we needed? I believe it's because we are called salt and light. If we are salt and light, then we have to be engaged in society. And I believe it's in every sphere of endeavor in the society. Politics is particularly important because politicians determine basically the lives of the people, really. Politicians are the ones who will determine whether we have good schools to attend, good hospitals, good roads to travel on, and so on and so forth. Whether our children will get good education, we are complaining about unemployment. Politicians are the ones who are supposed to do something about it. So if we have Christians as politicians, God-fearing people who have the right idea about leadership, about what it means to serve truly, not to serve oneself, but to serve the people, our lives would be completely different.
Okay.
Nigeria would not be where it is today if we had real Christians in leadership positions.
Well made, well made. But this leads to another question. Christians feel concerned. They would like to be a part of it. But Nigeria's politics today, is it made for Christians? Isn't it so easy to be compromised in the system today? What's your take on that?
I believe that I often get that question, and I believe it's maybe a lie that the devil introduced to keep Christians out of this very, very important sphere of influence. So Christians have had this fear of, I don't want to lose my soul. I don't want to dine with the devil, and so on. So it has kept us away from the sector where we can really exert the greatest influence, where we can do the utmost good by using the resources, the huge, huge resources of the country to serve our people. It is the same everywhere. There are temptations everywhere. Are you telling me that university lecturers are not tempted? Isn't it difficult to keep straight and upright as a businessman in Nigeria? Or is it as a lawyer? Or so I don't think it's about the particular sphere. It's about your commitment and what you choose to do, who you are going to serve through whatever work you are doing, whether you are a trader, whether you are a bus conductor, whatever you may be, there is ample opportunity to do wrong.
Okay. All right.
So it is whether you will choose to do it or not to do it.
Okay.
So I don't believe at all in this, Christians have to compromise. You have ample opportunity to compromise whatever area of endeavor you are engaged in.
Okay, thank you. So at what age would you say Christians should enter into politics? From your experience, I mean, there might not be a right or wrong age, but what would you recommend? And when is it too old to even be thinking about politics?
I sort of smiled when you gave me this question, because for me personally, I believe that I had always been interested in public issues, public affairs, and so on. But things didn't come together for me until I was about, let's say, that was around 2008. I was in my 50s, then. But look, there are people who get into politics much earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's whenever you feel you are ready, whenever you feel like, I don't know, maybe it is that tug in your heart or whatever it is that makes somebody say, I think I can, it's time for me to throw in my heart to do something about this matter. I was part of a group that was in the US in 2016, before the US elections. And we were in this, I believe it's in the state of New Hampshire, where you could be in the state legislature. And we were told that there were students in the state legislature. They will take 2 years off, from schooling to come and serve their state. And maybe it was easy because really it's a very interesting system that they have over there. They pay all of $100 per year for their legislators. So it's basically free. So anybody who feels, I can give, my time, I can give a year or two of my life. So students are even able to do that.
Okay. All right. So I take from that it can be as early as from school or university. It can be much later. Yes. It's when we feel led to actually intervene. And I take that.
Whatever is allowed by your constitution.
Whatever is allowed by your country. Very good. Yes, that's an important one. The age range allowed by the country.
Exactly.
Okay. When you said you felt around your early 50s the need to go into politics, can I ask that, does a Christian need a special calling, in your opinion, to go into politics? Or is it just being dissatisfied with what's going on? For Christians in particular, do they need to feel led? Or should they just feel there's too much trouble around? I think I can do a better job, so I'm getting into it.
Yeah, but, really in our lives, aren't we led? Aren't we always led?
Mm-hmm.
As Christians? The Bible says, commit your ways unto the Lord, and he will direct your path.
That's true.
And I believe that God really does order our footsteps. Of course, it might seem as if you are the one taking the decision and so on. But maybe at times when you look closely enough, you will see that your feet have been guided, your path, has been ordered into a particular area of endeavor. And I believe it will be the same. Many of us give testimonies of how, we felt led to do something. Maybe even it's, to take a particular turning on a journey and not another one, and so on. I believe that we are constantly being led as Christians, if truly we commit our ways unto the Lord. Some may receive a clear calling, maybe in terms of a vision or something like that. So for some, it may be a burden. It may be a burden, yes, like what you are saying, like, things are so hard and you don't seem to be able to knock it off. It's as if, are you sure you can't do something about it? Don't you think that, people like you should get involved and so on? I think there are, various ways in which people come into it.
Okay.
But what is important is the motive for coming.
All right.
It is what you seek to do, what you seek to
do. And what should that motive be? In one word, from your, or what was the motive for you? What was the motive for you?
For me, it was a frustration, about what was happening around me, and then a desire to see things done differently. I just came under this conviction that Nigeria can do much better than this.
Definitely.
You feel ashamed almost at times. You have all these friends from around the world. They know you. They see you as somebody, maybe, oh, you are well educated. You are, they see your private life and things like that. And they ask you, they say, but Rene, there are people like you in that country. I'm sure that there are many people like you in that country. How come your country is like this? How come your country, and I have come to think too, that Nigeria owes the world a real explanation. How come our country is like this?
Yes.
With so many brilliant, committed Nigerians doing incredible things.
Yes.
It's not even potential, it's reality. Look around the world and see what Nigerians are doing
already.
Positions that we are occupying around the world, incredible stuff that Nigerians are doing. How come our country is like this?
Yes.
We owe the world some explanation about that. And more than that, we owe ourselves a reversal, an upturning of this situation. Yeah.
Okay. Before one other one. Which politician in the Bible, or which life in the Bible, has inspired you in politics? And why? And why? Which particular character?
Joseph is one of my favorites, because he went on to become a ruler in Egypt. But just look at his attitude. He was very focused. He knew what God had shown him in dreams. Okay. And then when he was going through all his trials and so on, there was not a word of complaint or whatever. He was just so dedicated to pleasing God. When Potiphar's wife, tried to lure him, say, I can't do this thing. It's not possible. I can't do it and sin against God. And then what a large heart when his brothers, finally knew that this was Joseph and so powerful in Egypt and so on. And they said, your father said you should please pardon us, for all the wrong we have done. So we are pleading with you. Kindly, we are your servants.
Yes.
Please pardon us and so on. What was his answer? He said, don't worry about it.
Okay.
You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. So constantly seeing the hand of God, in his life, and seeing that God was using him to bless many people, to save many lives.
Okay.
I think that's an inspiration.
So how did you apply that or actualize that in the way you went about politics?
Well, I have not attained any public office yet, so I can't really say that I have started applying it. But what I say there is that, that is God's purpose for politics, to put somebody in a position to bless many lives, to bring good to many. Politics is about the common good.
Yes.
Not for the personal.
Yes.
It's not for your individual, promotion. We Christians, we tend to be more concerned about being personally blessed. Oh, God, favor me like you favored Esther. Oh, God, bless me. Give me, favor and whatever. No, what God is about is putting people in positions that will bless others.
Yes.
It has always been. from his first call to Abraham. He says, I will bless him so that he will be a blessing. In him, all the nations of the world will be blessed. So I believe that we Christians should cultivate that common good perspective about politics.
Thank you very much. I agree with you. And I think even for me too, Joseph is a favorite. And I like Abraham that you mentioned. Even though they were destined to be great, everybody goes through God's own university. And for some people, it's longer. For some people, it's shorter. But for Joseph in particular, it was a long one. He already had a servant attitude, but he had to learn it even to master's and PhD level, because he was going to be a ruler in a foreign country, administering at a difficult period of their history and taking the right decision. So thank you very much. I think that's one of the things we are going to take away. So thank you very much once again, Mrs. Remi, Sonaiya. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. It's my great pleasure. God bless you all.
You're welcome.